Good morning, Inner Circle. I am Chad McMahon with Capital Giants. This morning I was having my breakfast smoothie and I was thinking about, all the feedback that I've been hearing back from a lot of our current investors, potential investors, and even just people that reach out and want advice, maybe to do their own multifamily, things like that. And, a question that I get a ton, one of the biggest hurdles is cash, just having enough cash, whether it's OPM, other people's money, other people's cash, your own cash. What tips are there? So, what help is there for getting other cash? Is there financing that you can use as cash? Things like that. So here's my top three list to help you with the cash issue, okay? Because you're not alone. So the first thing is potentially partnering with other investors to pool capital. And sometimes this is going to be one investor, sometimes it's multiple investors. But I do see people, there are certain resources online, or potentially it's people you already know that they have the cash, but they don't know what the heck to do with it. They don't know anything about multifamily, and they're open to someone else managing things. They could be a cash partner for you. The second thing is, consider taking out like a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, something along those lines. So you can do that as well. And, typically with a HELOC, it's what you use it for, you use it for. And the best use of a HELOC is going to be investing. It's not going to be paying off, bills or going out and going on vacation or buying clothes or whatever. A HELOC, if you're going to leverage yourself and create more debt, then invest with that money, that value that creates the debt, so that you can bring in more than the debt will be. So a HELOC is an option. And by the way, contrary to what a lot of people say, you can do not only HELOCs on a primary residence, but you can do it on a second home or an investment home. You can do that. Now, most HELOC lenders will only do primary residence. So you got to keep looking, but they exist. There are lenders out there that you can get a solid HELOC on an investment home or a second home or something like that. Just expect two things. One is you still have to qualify the same way you do with primary residence HELOC, okay? The other thing is your terms will not be quite as good as a primary residence HELOC. So you need to expect that going into it. It can still be extremely worthwhile. If you have the equity there, it really opens up doors for you to have access to that cash. I mean, just make sure that you're really smart about how you use that cash, so that if you're creating this debt with your HELOC, that you're also creating more value than the debt. Okay, so that way you're well protected. The third thing is you can reduce your cash needs for these purchases. If maybe you're buying something that can be seller financed, or even sometimes assumed. There are options sometimes for assuming. It doesn't happen that often right now. In some marketplaces, it's more common also, so bear that in mind. But the seller financing, there are some sellers out there. Maybe they're struggling to sell. Maybe they'd be willing to do 5% down. And maybe, so what? If they, maybe they're willing to do a longer carry, 30-year, 25, 30-year, but most of the time that's not the case. Most of the time, if sellers are willing to do a seller financing, a seller carry, usually they want to do it for less time, like 5 years, something like that. So looking for those opportunities and finding ways to get that cash down there, that is a very quick, free way to get lower cash needs for your purchase. Okay, so that can help tremendously. And you can always combine these things. You get a cash partner to kick in, I don't know what your purchase is going to look like, but kick in X dollars. And if you can do a seller carry with less money down, combine those things together. Now you have excess cash, hopefully, and you can use that for improvements to add additional value. You can get in there and you can refinance later, sell it, whatever you need to do. Just remember, as always, multifamily, really work on how can I increase the rental income? How can I increase property value? But start with the rental income boost and high occupancy, that will help feed, of course, your property value. But get that income up, that'll support everything and take the pressure off of your finances. And then now you have the option, if you want to sell it, you can sell it, get some profit there. You can hang on to it, get positive cash flow, and on and on and on. So hope that's been helpful. Reach out if you want to see some other topics, explain, get some other answers. I'm happy to help. Reach out anytime. And beyond that, good luck out there.